Hey everybody, just wanted to do a quick video here. It's kind of out and about, looking at things, trying to figure out our next plan of action. We've got a lot going on pretty soon here. And I wanted to talk a little bit about consistency for horses in their living space. And there's a lot of times where, you know, horses just kind of do one thing and one thing only. They go to their stall, they go to their paddock, they go maybe out into the field for an hour, something like that. And you kind of rinse and repeat every day. And that's great. Horses love consistency, don't get me wrong. I think it's really healthy for horses to have sort of the same thing, to know what to expect. It reduces stress for them. They know something's coming. And then there's those days that it doesn't come, and then they kind of get a little bit stressed out. Where's my food? How come I can't come out? They're kicking doors and all kinds of stuff like that. So one of the things that we try to do here is without being stressful or without sort of giving, you know, too much change too often. Once in a while we sort of shake things up and move horses around from one place to another, which is one of the reasons we're trying to expand and make this place a little bit bigger to accommodate a few more horses, but also to allow the opportunity for the horses to go to different places depending on where they were last. So they might be in a paddock, they might be out in the dirt, they might be in the forest, they might be in a smaller or bigger sheltered area, depending. And of course then it also depends on whether or not they're feeling good, or if they've got anything kind of going wrong. Then we'll hook them up so they can be alone. Not alone, but alone in their own, so they're not chased off of food, they're not being walked around by some other horse. But as I kind of look around here, and I know some of the changes we're making, but we do have our setup area. Our setup area is where the horses are regularly where they're regularly living, where they come in and out of, and allowed to live their life very comfortably. Food, water, shelter, and regular exercise every day. But just the other day, or yesterday actually, changed it up a little bit for a couple of our boys to where they're going to live their life here in this forest. And you can see behind me, right there, those are the boys. And so last night they were a little bit worried. Last night they sort of hung out at the fence or the gate nearest where all the other horses are. And is probably a little bit stressful. But the bottom line is they've got water, they've got food, and they're fine. They're physically fine. They're mentally okay because they're together. I wouldn't really do this for a horse that was alone. I wouldn't make a horse stay out here away from what it's used to if it was alone. If you've got a buddy, great, you know, then it works out really well because they can be sort of stressed out together. But with that, they can each say to the other, well, we're here, you know, what do you want to do? Let's go eat. And then the stronger one will kind of go and the other one will follow along, and they'll take some comfort in that. So these guys are just, we put out some new feeders for them so they can eat off of this log. And they're just hay bags, as you can see there. They just hang down. And this is where they eat, and they can poop and pee, and we've got water just up at the front where we put in a bucket, big tub, so they're there. But the consistency of their world, such that they get food and they get water and they've got a place to live, and we come down and visit and they can see the other horses still, that still exists. But being out in sort of a pasture or something, a lot of people will try to put their horses out in pasture in the summertime. For the grass, the spring and summer and fall, and wintertime they'll sort of bring them in. But that bit of inconsistency can be very good for a horse. So I encourage everybody, you know, shake things up a little bit for your horse. Allow them to explore a new part of the barn they're at. If you don't have that and you're thinking of getting it, you know, maybe you can find it, but you know, there's no reason to go into a great extent to change their environment. But I can definitely say that it's good for the horse to have that little bit of lack of consistency, yet comfort and safety as well. Definitely with a buddy, definitely making sure they got food, water, you know, and they're not far off of what they're really used to. But you know, they're pretty resilient creatures. So anyways, we're way back here because way up there you can probably hear it. They're doing a bunch of work, replacing some power poles, and so I'm back here trying to figure things out and get it worked out, because we've got a busy weekend coming up and busy week, busy season. We're in year 2. Been a great year 1, and we're going to continue on. Anyhow, so that I just want to talk really quickly about consistency for horses, and I'll kind of cover another topic in the future about training and stuff, but really just their living environment, making sure they're taken care of, and it doesn't have to be the exact same environment all the time. It can kind of be shaken up a bit. So anyways, that's today. Here are the boys doing pretty good over here, hanging out in the forest. Anyways, thanks for watching, and see you guys again soon.